Here's the thing, I am not the right real estate agent for everyone. You don't want to work with me unless you want someone who's going to tell you the truth, not what you want to hear. I am firm, I am strategic, and I hold the line so you do not lose money or your sanity. If you want an agent who's just gonna list your house and cross their fingers, I am not that agent. I am not known to sugarcoat anything, and I'm certainly not known to wing anything. And I don't list homes at whatever crazy number you might have come up with just so that the listing can get stale and then you're gonna get angry at me. I work with sellers who are serious about selling their home, or they absolutely have to sell their home. They're ready to do what needs to be done to their house to get it sold and actually close. So before we work together, there are a few clear expectations. Okay, who am I kidding? Let's call them requirements because that's exactly what they are, to make sure that we are going to be a good fit working together. This list is not here to scare you, but if it does, maybe we're not going to be a good fit. The list is here to make sure that your home sells for top dollar, without the chaos and without the excuses. First on the list is your home has to be ready. I mean, not gonna be ready in 6 months or a year. I mean, it has to be ready. We only get one chance to make a first impression. So I've had sellers say, you know what, I'm just gonna put that on the side of the house. They're not gonna notice it. Yes, they are. They're gonna walk around the house. And my professional photography that also goes all the way around the house and does an aerial view, it's gonna catch it. So I want people who have all of their projects already done and the home is in tip-top shape. So we are making the best first impression. I put my own time and money in marketing your property. And that marketing only works if your house looks the very, very best that it can. So if your vibe is, you know what, they'll see past everything, it's gonna be fine, or they can just take care of it, I'm not the agent for you. Number two, I don't discount my value. I'm firm on my professional compensation. Not because I'm greedy, but because I know that I'm good. You're not paying me for my time, you're paying for my education. I've had many sellers say,
you know what, it doesn't take that much time to sell a house. Just put a sign in the yard, take a few photos. You probably have less than 50 hours worth of work into this property.
Well, you're not paying for my time, you're paying for my years of education, my reputation, and my negotiating skills. And honestly, you want an agent who knows their worth because that is the same agent who is going to protect the value of your home. I have worked with a large number of agents and I have found that the majority of discount agents discount everything. They are so concerned about making sure that they're getting their next check that if they're willing to discount their own fee right off the bat, they are going to discount your house just to get it closed. And your bottom line, it's just not something I play with. All right, number three, this one cracks me up. If you are looking to overprice your home, I am absolutely not your agent. Now I had to learn that the hard way because in the beginning, I was a pushover. I didn't want to upset anybody's feelings. So if they said, well, I think my home is worth this, I would say, okay. And then it sat there and they were angry and they had every right to be angry because I didn't say what I knew to be true. So I've got a story for you. I had a seller that came to me and said, I want to list my house. I ran the numbers, pulled all of the comps, looked at everything that was out there from pending to active to sold to expired. And I came up with their number was $550,000. And they said, no, it's got to be 675. I was like, I don't see 675. Can you tell me where you got 675 from? And maybe I missed it. And they said, well, I need to pay off my mortgage. Yes, we knew that. They said, I've also got credit card debt. I want to pay off my car. I want enough money for my next house. I would also like to set up college funds for my 2 children, and I would like to buy my oldest daughter a car. There isn't a buyer out there that is going to fund your expenses and your future. There just isn't. Now, I did not list that house. Somebody else listed that house, and when it finally sold 9 months later, it sold for $550,000. And I understand that there are many agents out there that will do what we call buy the listing. They're going to tell you whatever it is you want to hear so that they can get your listing, or they'll let you set the price so that they can get the listing, and then they're going to beat you down over time and say, oh, you know what, the market's just not working in your favor. I think we're going to do a price reduction. Eventually, it's going to get to the number I give you, but you're going to be upset at that point, and you're going to be upset with me, and I would just rather skip it. So if you're looking to overprice the property because you need to knock off a lot of items on your wish list, I'm certainly not the agent for you. The most valuable day your home has is day 1. And the sweet spot for any new listing is the first 7 to 10 days. This is your best opportunity to get a full price offer or possibly even an over asking offer. But the longer your house sits on the market, the bigger the discount's going to be. Number 4 is I am going to ask you, of course I can't tell you, but I am going to ask you to put into the contract that the buyer's must have a pre-approval letter or proof of funds. Now, I understand that there is some concern that, you know what, we need to get everybody through the door. We don't want to miss any opportunity. If they really, really love it, they're going to go get pre-approved. I will tell you, I don't want you to hang your hopes and dreams on if a buyer can get pre-approved and if they can get pre-approved at your number. Serious buyers have a pre-approval letter or they have a proof of funds letter. If you're living in the house, then you know you're going to have to clean it, pack up all the furry friends and or family, and leave for the showing. I want to make sure I save you the time and the headache and make sure that the only people coming through the doors are the ones that can actually purchase your home. It is better to have fewer people coming through the doors and making sure they are the right people. Now, number 5, okay, it does make people laugh, but I'm serious about it, is I don't want you at the showing and I don't want you at the inspection. I don't want you at the house when the buyer is there. I know that you know that house better than anybody and you want to show them around, but I have a whole other video on things that sellers say that get us in trouble. So the best thing to do is not have you there. And so if you're telling me, but Tammy, I need to be here, I need to let them in, I need to give them a tour, this is not going to work, because in my almost 20 plus years, I have seen it go wrong 9 times out of 10. And if you're that 1% that it went right for, I'm very, very happy for you. But I'm telling you, it is not a good thing for you to be at the house helping the buyer or their agent. It's going to backfire. It's going to be used against you. And I just don't work with people who need to do that. And the other thing I want you to understand with that is buyers need space. They get nervous when they come in there and they see like the seller's car is in the driveway or the garage and they ask, oh my gosh, is the seller going to be here? And then when they do see the seller is there and the seller starts following them around, it just gets weird for them and they want to leave the house as fast as possible. We're doing everything we can to keep them in the house for as long as possible, because the longer they are in your house, the more they like it, the more they see themselves living there. But if you're on top of them, hovering over them, it's going to run them out of the house. And that's just going to defeat the whole purpose of getting them into your home. Number 6, I sell homes, not furniture. I also don't sell golf carts, tractor trailers, RVs, or boats. When you start putting that into a contract, that is where things get really, really heated. And I have seen deals not close because of a $50 chair. Yeah. That was painful. Your furniture is not part of the deal. Keep it, sell it separately, or go outside of the contract and write on a whole different piece of paper and contract whatever terms and conditions you want, but it's not going to be inside of the contract. Number 7, I have no love for contingencies. Now, I understand that there are contingencies in all offers, but let me tell you about the ones that I don't want you to take. These are the ones where a buyer comes to you and says, I love your home, but I've got to sell mine first. So will you go ahead and take my offer and we'll make this for 60 days out. My home has to sell, but then I'll have enough cash to be able to buy your house. No, I don't like that. Here's why. What if that house isn't even on the market and they still have to get it on the market? They may never get on the market. What if they put it on the market and the price is too high and it never goes under contract? Remember I said that like your best time is the first 7 to 10 days, and now they're asking you to take your house off the market on a what if? No. I don't want you to do that. I want to make sure that we have solid buyers, not maybe buyers. Now, number 8 is actually 2 parts, and this is an absolute deal breaker. We will not be able to work together if you want to discriminate, because I don't discriminate. I'm not allowed to discriminate. Even if I could, I wouldn't. It's just not who I am. And the other thing is I'm not going to lie for you. So if there's something broken that I am required to disclose and you tell me, don't tell them. If they figure it out, that's going to be great. But if they don't, no one's ever going to know. I'm going to know. So if you are somebody who wants to discriminate or you want me to lie for you, we are just not going to be a good fit. I am a rule follower. I follow the law, and I'm going to protect both you and me from a lawsuit. It's just that simple. Number 8, I am pretty firm about, and that is no keys until closing. Many times a buyer is going to ask, and they're going to say, you know what, can I move in early? Especially if the home is vacant, or even if the home isn't vacant, and they can say, could you move out a little early and let me move in because I'm going to be in the middle of like either my lease or my other sale? And the answer there is no. I'm strongly going to advise you against it. I don't even want you to do it ever, because yes, their money's in escrow, but that doesn't mean close. And I have seen a lot of deals either get delayed to the point they never close or just blow up completely because when the buyer is in the house living getting there, they find out all kinds of little issues and problems, and then they decide, you know what, I don't want to close. Or I want you to fix all of these things that we're way past the contingencies on and shouldn't even be coming up. But because you've let them into the property and you've given them the keys, it's now going to be a problem. And I know that you are a nice person and you want to help somebody out, but I am firm on no keys until it is closed. And if they get mad, that's totally fine. Blame it on me. I am a huge, big meanie, but I am here to protect you. Number 9 is feedback. Feedback is actually a gift, and I'm going to give it to you straight. And sometimes no feedback is the feedback. Today, many buyers and agents don't want to give feedback because they don't want it to be used against them and they don't want to end up getting sued possibly later. So if we are lucky enough to get feedback on your property, I am going to tell you exactly what they said. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. And if it's something that can be changed, I'm going to ask you to change it. So here's an example of one that we just had recently. The owners have a cat. I understand it. We all have animals. I do, but sometimes we get desensitized to the smell that our animals have. And the buyers came through and the comment that they left was, "House smells like cat litter in the kitchen." And that was a real turnoff for them. So I'm not going to sugarcoat it and go, well, you know, they liked it, but it just wasn't for them. This is something that you need to know so that you can make a change to then make your house the most attractive to anybody else that will be coming through in the future. And those who've hired me, they hired me to get them the results that they wanted, not to sugarcoat the feelings. If this hasn't made you run away yet and you are serious about selling, I have made it very simple. Click on the link below and fill out the short questionnaire. And yes, you have to complete the short questionnaire. This is how I prep, strategize, and make sure that we are a good fit. Many sellers have asked me, is that required? Yes, it is required before we can go forward. It's going to save you and me a lot of time. Number 10, and this is a shocker for a lot of sellers, but I don't do open houses. Now, I used to do open houses way back in the day with the dinosaurs, but when we got social media is where the buyers are at, and we need to meet them where they're at. Also, what I found is that serious buyers do not wait for an open house. They're not like,
Hey Johnny, let's wait till 2 weeks from now when that agent's having an open house. Let's go see it then. Hopefully it'll still be there.
no, they don't do that. They're worried the house is going to be gone. They call their agent. They schedule an appointment immediately. Sometimes it's in the middle of the day because they're going to take off of work to see the house that they really, really want. Now, if you're wondering, well, why do so many agents do open houses? They are great for lead generation. What they're hoping is that you are going to take the time to clean your house, make it look absolutely spotless, and that 1 or 10 people might walk through the door, and they're going to get those people as a lead and help them buy another house. Because here's the truth of the matter. When somebody is coming to an open house, it's usually because they saw a sign by the road. And when they see the sign, the price tag is not on it or the information. So they follow the signs to your house. They get there and they go, well, that's a 2-story house and I really wanted a 1, but we're here anyway, let's just go in. They have no intention of buying your house. It didn't even fit their needs, but they figured they already drove to the back of the neighborhood. Why not? And when they're in there, they're like, okay, well, what's the price tag on this? And then they go, no, this house, I don't want it. It's not worth it. Or worse, your neighbor from next door who wants to know how you live comes over and they're like, I've always wondered what they were doing with this kitchen. Or, oh no, my house is worth a lot more. I can't believe they're asking for this. And absolutely the worst thing about open houses is you have cleaned, you have scrubbed, you have packed up the entire house and all of the animals. And I have heard from so many of you that when you came back, the house was dirty, you had rips or stains places that they were not before. And unfortunately for some, personal items had gone missing. So social media is where it is at today. Buyers are watching reels and stories, and they're hopping on people's DMs and sending messages, and they're even on YouTube, just like you. So I meet the buyers where they're at so that we can get the most eyeballs on your property to get it sold. Number 11 is I want you to have your house professionally cleaned before closing. Yes, I know you can clean the house. You've been doing it all of your life and you want to clean this house right before closing. And my answer to you there is no. Hire a professional cleaner. It is going to save so much time, so much headache, so much stress for all of us. I could give you story after story after story on how things go wrong, but here is just one of them. I represented the seller. I said, have the house professionally cleaned. And they said, no, my boys are going to take care of it. Their friends are going to come over. The moving van's going to be there. We're actually leaving early, but the boys are going to stay for another 2 days and they're going to take care of it. I will tell you, it did not work out. When the buyers pulled up, the trash can at the front was overflowing. They even borrowed the neighbor's trash cans and they were overflowing. There was just so much stuff in the house that the buyers refused to close until it was professionally clean. I was able to negotiate a huge credit at closing for the buyer's inconvenience to have to wait to hire cleaners to come in and also empty the trash because it delayed their ability to move in. Now, it would have been easier if they had hired a professional to come in on the day of closing so that while they were out of town, if there was any hiccup or any issue, they could have simply called that cleaning company back up and said, hey, I've already paid you. You were out there. You happened to miss this. Can you run back out there again? And that would have taken care of everything. So I'm going to be a real stickler on letting you know at the beginning, I am expecting that you are going to hire a professional cleaning on the day of closing. It is going to probably be one of the best decisions you make. Number 12, I am going to want you to replace that light fixture or any items that you do not want to include in your sale. I learned this one the hard way. There was a seller I was representing and they had a beautiful chandelier in the dining room. It was just gorgeous. It was a family heirloom, been passed down from generation to generation, stunning. And I said, I really think you need to replace that. It is drop dead gorgeous. It's going to be in the photos. Anybody who sees it is going to want it. And they said, you know what? We're going to replace it with something else. It's going to be equally as nice. I said, okay, well, that was my mistake because it was beautiful. And every buyer who came through absolutely loved it. And when it was time to negotiate an offer, that was the sticking point in the negotiation, was that chandelier. Now, we had it on all the disclosures. We had it in public remarks. Chandelier does not convey. Chandelier is never, ever going to stay. There is no amount of money that you are going to pay for that chandelier. Didn't matter. Buyer didn't care. They saw it. It was with the house. So what I'm telling you is if you have something that is not going to stay with the house, then I am going to want you to replace it with something else so the buyer never sees it. It is never going to be something that comes up in the negotiations. It's going to save time. It's going to save stress. It's going to save you a lot of money. This buyer that wanted the chandelier was so obsessed with it, they negotiated serious discounts just because of the chandelier. And I don't want that to happen to you. And number 13, I negotiate like your money depends on it, because it does. And I have had many buyers and sellers say to me that I'm a little scary when it comes to negotiations and that they would never want to be on the other side. So it's going to be great that I am on your side. It's like I said before, you're not paying for my time, you're paying for my education. I know what is happening on the market. I know what homes are selling for. I know who the agents are in my market. I know who's good and I know who's not. I know who's going to get the deal done, and I know who we should probably just pass on because they can't close a deal like their life depended on it. So if you're looking for a nice and fluffy, I'm not going to be for you. But if you're looking for firm and protective, it's going to work out. I find it funny sometimes when agents will tell me, well, I thought you were a little mean, or I was really, really scared of you, because it's not an attitude that I'm putting off. It's just that I'm very, very protective about your bottom line. So now you know, I'm not the right agent for everyone. I actually have a sign that says I'm not for everyone, and I like it like that. I'm very selective about the people I work with, and I only work with a few clients at a time because each client deserves my full attention. So if you want a smooth sale, you want fewer headaches, and you actually want to put more money in your pocket, then click on the link below. Yes, fill out the seller questionnaire, and let's make this happen. And if you're outside my area, I will connect you with a proven agent that runs their business the same way I do. Does it scare you that there are more agents like me out there? I look forward to working with you. Thanks, I'll see you in the next video.